Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode, another live show. So stoked to be hanging out with you guys tonight. I am a bit tired tonight, so I'm sorry if I'm just a little bit more chill. No excuses for being tired, just tired for some reason. Hope you all are having a great week so far. I see some comments popping in. If you're watching, feel free to drop a comment. Let me know who's watching. Always good to see some familiar faces as well as some new ones. Before I do anything, as always, I'm going to drop the giveaway link in the chat here. If you haven't done so before, if you're new here, if it's your first time, fill this out. Fill it out only one time per show. So if you fill it out here, don't fill it out again later. I'll be posting it multiple times. But fill that out later on in the episode. I'm going to draw a winner for a giveaway. You have to be here to claim your prize, so make sure you're here. Check in periodically. But let's see. I see some familiar faces, some familiar names. We got Corey checking in from New Ulm. I don't know if Logan's with you, but if so, good to see you too. Logan might be playing Fortnite. He might be sick of the show now. He's the appeal's lost on him. He's out somewhere playing video games. Cynthia checking in from Costa Rica. That sounds lovely. Or Cynthia. Yeah, Cynthia. Okay. Threw it off because I said I saw Sydney and then I saw Cynthia. So Cynthia, appreciate you being here. Please send some weather my way from Costa Rica. I would love that. And some coffee. Of course, coffee. Ron in Appleton, good to see you, Ron. As always, appreciate you checking in. Derek, good to see you as well in South Dakota. We have Chad and the Tullys in Iowa. Good to see you guys. Heather with a new name. Good to see you, Heather. Josh, I would assume Liz is in with you. Good to see you guys. Ben and Callie, hope you're staying safe. I see you guys are potentially flooding now and snowing. Holy good golly, make up your mind, California. But I'm glad you're safe. I'll take snow anytime over forest fires and everything. Rowdy, good to see you from over in Ashwaubenon. Not too far from me. Good to see you, Bailey, as always. We have Jenny. Good to see you as always, Jenny. Chris, good to see you, man. I gotta say, Logan has. I don't blame him. He did ask if he was going to watch anymore, and he decided he's going to go only if the Packers are still playing. He will watch. So he said if you are doing again next season, he'll watch until that. We're no longer. Yeah, that's fair, man. I will say, I feel like the live shows without the Packers being on definitely doesn't have as much. It's not as much for me to talk about. I like football. I enjoy football. But I love the Packers. I am all in on the Packers. I don't miss Packers football. But as we're going to talk about, I got to be honest. I didn't watch all of the either of the games. Keith, good to see you. Good to see you as always. We can dive into it. What better time than now? I will say I'm probably going to do more questions. So if you guys have fun questions, doesn't have to be Packers related or football related. Could be anything, hypotheticals, random things. I'm just here to hang out with you guys. I enjoy doing these. So to answer your question, Corey, as of right now, the thought is I'll be doing these again next season. I am going to have something that I put in between for the off season. So I don't know. Maybe I'll let you guys in on the secret since you guys have been here with me every single week. Maybe I'll let you in on the secret a little early. I wasn't planning on announcing anything till just before the Super Bowl, but you guys have been here with me every single week, so I think it's only fair, right? So maybe we'll talk about that if you guys are interested in that. Green Bay, 83 days away. Yeah, I'm super excited. Tom, I don't know if you're going to be there. I will be there, assuming everything is good in my life and no emergencies or anything like that. The plan's to be there, so I'm super excited for it. Well, I don't know about you, all of you watching. Like I already said, I didn't watch the complete game for both of these games. The first game, the Eagles and the Commanders, it wasn't even a game. I think I shut it off after the tush push fiasco of 3 offsides penalties by the defense. And if we do it one more time, we're just going to award the score. I'm just like, okay, this is just the end of this game for me. So, yeah, that's kind of where I shut it off. I was hoping the Commanders were going to be a little bit more competitive in that game. I'll say the Eagles feel like a championship team. They really don't feel like they have much of a weak spot. They have an incredible run game. As long as Jalen Hurts is playing well, they seem to be really doing well with him. And their defense is lights out. They have the number one, at least when I looked it up weeks ago. I stopped looking at like weekly rankings once the Packers were out. But they had like the number one passing defense. They have a sound defense, killer run game. I've bet against the Chiefs numerous times this year, and every time I'm wrong. But I feel like the Eagles, in my opinion, are the better chance of winning the Super Bowl, which I don't know. I see Chris not liking it. He says the Eagle fans are out of control. They need to get under the control. That tush push scenario is ridiculous. I think the scenario is ridiculous. I don't know about you guys, but I think I'd rather see the Eagles win the Super Bowl rather than the Chiefs. It feels like the worst of both situations to me. Last week, I said that my heart wanted Buffalo and Washington, and my head knew we'd get Eagles and Chiefs, and here we are. Corey wants to know, do you play video games? Ooh, I'm going to save this one. I want to save that for, it's going to be a pretty quick recap. So we're going to be getting into those questions first, and that's the one I'm going to jump into right away because I'm looking forward to that. And then of course, after the Eagles punched their ticket to the Super Bowl, we saw the Bills and Chiefs game, which admittedly I did not watch the entire game of that as well. Chiefs defeated the Bills 32-29. I will tell you, the moment I shut that game off was the fourth down play where Josh Allen, from all angles, looked like he had enough for that first down. And the ref that didn't even have the view set the line. And that's what it went with. And it didn't get overturned. And I was like, you know what? I'm good. I that was like the moment I think I felt like football fatigue. That usually hits me every year once the Packers are out. I kind of feel football fatigue. And I feel like that was that moment because I was like, this just feels like it's, I'm not one that I don't think games are rigged by any means. But man, watching that when those calls happen, I'm just like, okay, this just feels like, I don't know. It just feels like it's, you have to already be so perfect to beat the Chiefs, and then it just feels like that much more. And the conspiracies, we talked about this in previous weeks, when there's money on the line, like gambling is, it opens up conspiracies to the NFL doing things that are better for Vegas, that are better for the entertainment side of things. And Taylor Swift being at another Super Bowl is better for the NFL. I'm not saying that it's rigged by any means, but it's really frustrating. And I know not Chiefs don't get every single call by any means, but those critical ones like that, where you have video evidence, is so frustrating. It's just like the Eagles game where the Commanders fumbled it, the Eagles jumped on it, but the Commanders player came out with the ball and they awarded the Eagles the ball because he showed possession. Yet when we played them in the wild card game, Keyshawn Nixon showed possession and they didn't care about that. So I don't know. It just gets so frustrating. What's the point of even having replays if I understand you need the evidence to overturn the original call, but what's the point? It just seems like the evidence needs to be far and above sufficient for them to even flip anything. And I think that's super frustrating because you put these things in for a reason, that if there is evidence there, it should be enough to like flip it. I don't know. But yeah, so I was pretty bummed. I really wanted the Bills to go to the Super Bowl. That was the team that I wanted to go, and that just kind of solidifies what we talked about the last week or 2 weeks ago about how hard it is to go to the Super Bowl. Look at this Bills team. This Bills team's put together some good teams, and every year they come up short. whether it's against the Ravens or the Chiefs or what have you. Every year they're coming up short. And it just goes to show it is hard to make the Super Bowl. The Chiefs make it look really easy. They make it look really easy. The Patriots made it look really easy. But it's a tough thing, that's for sure. I was taking a quick look at the rosters for both teams just to see what former Packers were playing in the Super Bowl. Oren Burks for the Eagles, which Oren's my guy. I got to take him out to Legend Larry's when he was a rookie here. That was a really fun experience. I've talked about it before on the show. Someone asked me about it. And then Mike Pennell, who's playing, is it Pennell? I feel like it's Pennell. It's been a long time though since he's been with the Packers. So he's with the Chiefs. And if they win on Super Bowl Sunday, it would be his third ring, which is good for him. I want to say it's Pennell. I sat next to his mom at a game one time, so that's the only thing I can think of every time I hear his name. And I think I'm not alone on this based off the reactions I saw on my page that people are just ready for the Chiefs to be out of Super Bowls. Dynasties are exhausting unless it's your team. If it's not your team in the dynasty, you hate the dynasty. And then the dynasty ages well. I see some people are like, the Patriots dynasty wasn't so bad. We all felt this way with the Patriots too. It's just we have more rose-tinted glasses because it's in the rear view mirror as opposed to we're still living through it. I also saw that 4 times during the, 6 years that Matt's been a coach for the Packers, they've lost to the eventual NFC champion. 2019 and 2020, of course, we made it to the NFC Championship game, lost both those. Lost to San Francisco in 2019, Tampa Bay in 2020. 2021, we lost to the 49ers, but they lost to the Rams. 22, we didn't make the playoffs. 23, we lost to the 49ers, who made the Super Bowl. And then this year, we lost to the Eagles, who made the Super Bowl. If there is... and start dropping those questions if you got them. I'm definitely going to be jumping in here and talking some burning hot questions. So start dropping them. Let's have some fun in the questions, at least. That's the only fun I feel like I'm having right now with football. So let's have some fun there. But the Packers held the Eagles to their lowest offensive performance this postseason, which that's something to hang your hat on. I think Hafley's first year orchestrating this defense, and we're seeing the results there. I'm really excited to see what we can do with a couple of years here, a full off season under his belt, bringing in some players that maybe he has a bit more say on. We saw them hit on Xavier. I can only imagine what we're going to continue to see in this growth. So I'm super excited to see what this defense can do. If this defense can keep growing and hopefully the offense grows, behind the struggles that we saw this past year, I really like our chances going forward. Now, life's going to get a lot tougher. The NFC North is going to be a tough division again. Chicago's assembling an all-star cast and crew, which good on them. They're putting together an incredible coaching staff. It's going to be interesting to see if they can make the pieces of the puzzle fit how they want it to. All right, let's hang out, drop some questions, and let's get into some burning hot questions. As always, shout out to Legend Larry's for sponsoring the show all season long. I love Legend Larry's. I'm a big fan of Legend Larry's, and like I've been saying, they obviously do some great promotions, and I'm hopefully going to be continue to work with them throughout the offseason. But if not, still check them out. They have great promotions all the time. They do a lot of baseball promotions. They're going to do March Madness stuff. So even if I'm not promoting them, check out what they're doing because they have a lot of great promotions. But I will say, and I've said this before, get yourself, if you're in the area and you're like, hey, what should I do for the Super Bowl? Get yourself a 50-pack or 100-pack of wings. I might do that, even though I'm going to be eating them by myself because my wife doesn't like traditional wings. I'm telling you, that's the route to go. Get 50 wings and show up at my house and we'll watch together. How about that? Yeah, so shout out to Legend Larry's. I appreciate them immensely. I got to go back to that question from Bailey. Corey wants to know, do you play video games? If so, what kind and what platform? If not, what is another hobby of yours? I love this. I love this question, Bailey. Thank you. Oh, and Corey. Corey, thank you as well. I do play video games, not as much as I once did. So my son's 18 months old. It is very difficult to play video games with him. Our days are pretty much the same. I work remotely, which is nice, but I'm done at 5. I make dinner. I clean up the kitchen generally, and then my wife and we hang out with our son. He goes to bed around probably right now. I think my wife's putting him to bed right now, and then my wife and I hang out together. We maybe watch a show of something, and then at that point, we'll go to bed usually. Like I'll sometimes play like Switch while I'm laying in bed, or I read. I like to read a fair bit. But I do play Nintendo Switch occasionally. I do have an Xbox, but right now it's just gathering dust because I haven't really had a chance to play it much with how busy I am. With this live show with my son, editing clips, website stuff, all sorts of stuff. I'm just super busy, which is certainly no complaints there. But when it comes to video games, I like playing I like RPGs a lot. So Diablo 3, I played a lot of RuneScape when I was younger, which was a lot of fun. And yeah, I like a lot of RPGs. Those are always fun. Lately, I've been just playing chill games like Mario. I can just shut off my brain and I don't have to be good at it. I can just like hang out and play. So I played, which Mario did I just beat? I don't even remember what I just beat. Not important, but I have Paper Mario right now that I'm playing that I haven't gotten too far in, and some Pokemon games, of course. Pokemon games. Good question though. I appreciate that. Yeah, Tom, those are a couple other ones that I mentioned. I'm admittedly I'm not huge into college football. My time and energy is so focused on Packers football that I don't have a ton of time for a lot of other sports. But Zach Bond, Leo Schnell, Schnell, I think I'm pronouncing that right. Both Wisconsin natives, so that's always cool when you see homegrown talent there. Puppy Bowl all the way. Good to see you, Jason. By the way, I'm with you, man. If the Puppy Bowl played the Super Bowl commercials, I'd probably watch the Puppy Bowl instead. All right. I'm just trying to see if I missed any questions before I'm catching up on the. I don't know if I posted the link for the giveaway again. I see Steve asking about it. There's the giveaway. If you haven't entered, do so there. If you've already entered, don't do it a second time, please. Ooh, this is a good one, Keith. Keith said, "What is your favorite football documentary?" That is a great question. There is a documentary that not a lot of people know of, I don't think. That is absolutely. I've watched it. Has to have been 50 times now at this point. The documentary is called Last Day at Lambeau, and it is about Brett Favre's last day at Lambeau Field. What transpired in that 2008 offseason, or 2007 to 2008 offseason. What transpired with that? They have a lot of reporters in there who are covering the Packers at that time. Talks about Favre's time in New York, what transpired there. Incredible documentary. I think you can find it if you go on Facebook and look up Last Day at Lambeau. He posts the Vimeo link to find it. I think it's hidden now unless you have that Vimeo link. It is an incredible documentary, and I can't recommend it enough to watch it. It is one of my go-to just to put on. Otherwise, Vince Lombardi has a documentary on HBO that I think it's on YouTube as well. I've watched that way too many times to count as well. So that is an incredible one. I see a couple people asking. I see Rowdy Preston asking this, and then Bailey asking if I'm going to see the Green and Gold movie. I'm not sure. If I had to go with my gut, I would say I'm probably not going to see it in theaters. once again, it's hard. I got an 18-month-old, so I mean, if I were going by myself, maybe, but I know my wife and I talked about watching it sometime, so we'll probably rent it or something whenever it comes out. I do want to watch it for sure. Do I like the Pancake Place? Absolutely. One of the best comfort food places, in my opinion, in Green Bay. What are your thoughts on our new coaches they just hired? I don't know. Ask me again. Ask me again next year. We'll see. Heather, do you watch what sports do you watch other than football? Does your wife watch any sports? I don't. I get a lot of flack for this. Great question, Heather. I don't watch any other sports other than NFL football and predominantly Packers. I'm quite busy, and I am so involved with the Packers, like as far as like emotionally involved and like, running my pages and my website and creating content, that I just don't have the bandwidth. I I get to a point where the off season comes, like right now, since the Packers are out of football, like I'm okay with the NFL season ending and I feel okay about it. And then the itch comes back, of course, but it it gets tough when you're just like, man, every weekend I'm doing stuff. And I love Packers football. I love the traditions like I'm creating with my son, and my wife and I watch it together. And it's like a good family thing. My wife and I have been to a lot of games together, family nights, training camps, all that stuff. We actually bonded initially over our love for the Packers. So the Packers are a big thing in our family. Like my son wants to have football on constantly. We don't let him watch much TV, but he likes to just have football on just to listen to while he plays. So we'll put on old games and he'll request football. You'll turn it on and he'll just go play. I think he just likes having football on. I don't know. We have it on Sundays all day for the most part, but yeah, I don't know. I just don't have the bandwidth. I don't know. Maybe one day when when my son's older, I'm sure maybe he'll like other sports, and yeah, we'll see. Um How and why did we extend Rich B? I don't know, man. I That's a good question, Derek. We talked about that. What I don't know. Time blends together. We talked about that not long ago. That I was already on the fence about him being there. He's the highest paid special teams coach. I think he's the assistant coach of the team, but it doesn't seem like we're getting the results we want especially out of the highest paid. I know a lot of the players love him, so there might be a locker room thing. Josh Jacobs was a big fan of Rich. We obviously don't see what goes on behind closed doors. We just see what's there. Rowdy says, I actually ran into you at Legend Larry's a few years ago when I came up to Green Bay for a game. Did you say hi to me, Rowdy? If so, my memory's terrible. I've bumped into a handful of people at Legend Larry's. Of course, I feel like people see me there and they're like, oh, of course we're gonna see him here. I don't know if you guys it says there's an error with the form. I don't know if you guys got the form again. Oh, it did post there. I don't know what's going on with it. Jason, I appreciate these questions. These are fun. There's a lot of good questions coming in that are fun and a little bit outside the norm because football's over, so it's fun. Outside of the Super Bowl, which championship is usually your favorite? Dude, I gotta be honest with you. Outside the Super Bowl, I don't watch any championships of any sort. As bad as that sounds, man, I feel like I get so much flack for that. Do I watch any champ? I don't even. Here's how little I care about media outside of the NFL. I don't even watch like the Olympics. When it's not football season, I'm trying to think what we even do. Yeah, I don't know. I don't. We watch random shows that were whatever, but when it's not football season, man, I don't watch any sports. Maybe Street League because I'm an old skateboarder. I do like watching Street League if I see it on. Which Street League is a skateboarding competition type thing, which is pretty interesting. Bailey, You and Corey are just hammering out some good ones. Did you watch Aaron Rodgers' Enigma? Thoughts, if so? We did. My wife and I watched that. I'm not going to say too much because I don't want to spoil it if someone's planning on watching it. I thought it was really good. I know a lot of people have soured on Aaron Rodgers. It is what it is. I'm not going to harp on that too much. But what I will say is I think Aaron Rodgers has done so many things that he doesn't need to do to help the Packers. And what I mean by that is he could have easily, when he came out of his darkness retreat and he had found out that he was being traded or not that he was being traded, but that the Packers were like talking to people about trading, he could have very easily have pulled a Brett Favre and said, well, I'm retiring. I decided I'm going to retire. And basically follow the path of Brett Favre, where he retires all off season. And then right around family night, he decides, nope, I'm going to unretire, make this huge media circus. At that point, when Jordan's like, hey, am I the guy or am I not the guy? Then you take away the opportunity for Green Bay to negotiate a good deal for Rodgers because time is not on their side. And we would have gotten nothing for Aaron Rodgers just to make that transaction happen. Instead, he's very transparent with his plans and what he wants to do. He is transparent that he no longer wants to play for Green Bay, or I don't remember exactly how everything transpired, and that he wished to play for the Jets. That allowed the Packers to negotiate a trade that ultimately netted them a swap of first rounds, and then the second round and an additional second round. So the Packers really could have gotten a whole lot less for Rodgers. I'm also super appreciative of his mindset towards Jordan Love when they drafted him and not going that same route that maybe Brett did when they drafted Aaron. And I don't agree with everything Aaron says or does. I don't agree with a lot of what he says and does in his own personal time, but that's life. And that's okay. I don't agree with everyone on everything. I don't agree with a lot of people on a lot of things, but I can still like them and be fond of what they've done. And that's how it is with Rodgers. I still like Aaron Rodgers. I appreciate everything Aaron Rodgers has done. I will say, slight spoiler if you're still planning on watching it, episode number 2 felt like I was watching scenes that maybe I wasn't supposed to watch. It felt like very much like I was watching like behind the scenes of like a cult or something. I felt like, am I legally supposed to be allowed to see this? Do they know this is filming? It just felt weird. So good overall, good 3-part series though. I liked it. Jesse says, do you think the Packers would bring back Davante Adams? Because I think it will happen because current and past players want. I don't know. Current and past players could want it until they're blue in the face. Right now, he's under contract with the New York Jets, so it's hard to say. Depends what happens there. If they keep him, if they retain him, if they trade him. I can't imagine. The Jets keep him for the salary cap he's at. I don't know if he can trade him. I don't know. Any shocking trades you think would be possible? Dude, I feel like, good question. First off, I feel like every year stuff happens that I would not think would be possible. Shocking trades. I don't know, man. Nothing's jumping out at me. The interesting thing will be shocking cuts next year, because there's always shocking cuts. That I might be able to give you a better guess on. I got nothing for the trades though. I don't like to bother celebrities. Well, that is not me, sir. If you ever see me, feel free to say hi. You're not bothering me. Kayla says, do you think Micah Hyde retiring, he would want to be a coach and be a good one at that? Man, I love Micah Hyde. I hope nothing but the best for him. I've been a big fan of Micah. I know he was one that kind of got away, which at the time it was tough timing. We had HaHa, who was coming off a really strong season. I think we had just locked Morgan Burnett down on a contract, and the Packers were at that point not able to pay that big of a salary for Micah Hyde. Micah Hyde has really outperformed all expectations of where he was drafted and was a phenomenal player for both the Packers and Buffalo. I if that's what he wants to do is get into coaching, so be it. And I hope he does. I hope he's great. Nothing but good vibes to Micah Hyde. I'm not sure I'd call myself a pioneer, Jason, but you're too kind. All right. I see a couple questions. Otherwise, a few more questions there. I'll try to answer. If you guys have any other questions, this has been fun. I like the variety of questions we got. If there's any other questions you guys have, feel free to drop them. The draft should be a lot of fun. What are you looking forward to with it being in Green Bay? Keith, yeah, I'm a big fan of the draft. I love the draft is one of my favorite times of the NFL year. I love the optimism that comes with the draft. Every single guy who gets drafted, whether the first pick or the last pick, really could go on to have an incredible career. Even guys that don't get drafted. So I think the NFL draft is like one of the best days of the year. I'm really looking forward to taking on the festivities. I am going to be there every single day, and it's going to be incredible just to be around the fans and hopefully bump into people that I know. I know my house is going to be a zoo. I'm going to have so many people staying with me, and that's going to be a lot of fun. I'm sure I'm going to be over it by the time it's done, but it's going to be a lot of fun. I am not looking forward to how many people it's going to bring into town, but I am excited for the local businesses here to hopefully get a bump from all the traffic that's coming in. So many good places to check out if you're coming into town. I'll obviously just check out my website. There's a lot of recommendations there. Heather says, do you think Rodgers will retire? I don't personally. I think he's going to play again. And Heather also says, do you think Dylan will stay? I don't think the Packers will keep him. Not so much if he's going to stay, but I don't think the Packers will keep him. Raymundo, good to see you. Raymundo says, do you see the Packers going after receiver this offseason? If so, do you think there would be free agency or draft? I could see him doing both, to be honest, Raymundo. I think it's a need, especially with Watson being out, not knowing the timeline of what he's going to be out. So I think that's a need. We'll see what they do, but I could see them kind of loading up a little bit in free agency. I don't think they're going to go huge and make this big splash and get like a T. Higgins or anything like that. But I could see them going after and getting some talent. You know, we'll see where the chips fall. But I'm excited to see what happens. Bailey and Corey, I hope I run into you guys then. I know I saw you guys at, was it the Al Harris signing years ago? I saw you too. Yeah, but it would be good to see you too again. Chad says, what's your favorite animal exhibit at the zoo? Oh boy, this is a really good one. I've always liked, I guess it depends which zoo, like the new zoo in Green Bay. What is my favorite exhibit? I'm a sucker for turtles, man. I love turtles. Going back to like even being a young kid, turtles are my jam. Probably not the most exciting thing, but dude, if I'm driving down the road and I see a turtle in the road, I'm stopping and I'm getting the turtle out of the road. I save the turtles. I'm all about the turtles. So Bailey, another good question. Do you watch the Pro Bowl? I think it's a lot more fun now that they do those games challenges. I used to really love the Pro Bowl back when they did a lot of those different challenges and games. I stopped watching it when it got like really, really soft. I don't know. It depends if I'll have it on. I don't even know if we get it locally here. I don't have cable. I just watch everything local because I live in Green Bay. Everything's on local TV here, and I don't need to have cable. So I don't know. I'll see if I watch it. I do really enjoy the games, those other games, more so than the actual Pro Bowl game. If I don't watch the Pro Bowl, I'll definitely recap those games. Jenny, I hope to bump into you there if you're volunteering. Matthew says, what do you think the Eagles' chances at winning the big game? I'm going to say 50. No, I do think the Eagles will win. I think the Eagles feel like the stronger of the teams. I've bet against the Chiefs so many times, so it wouldn't surprise me if the Chiefs win either. So I don't know. I just think the Eagles, the Bills were kind of odd from what I watched because I didn't watch all of the AFC Championship game, but I felt like they didn't rush as much as I thought they were going to. Where I think the Eagles will really lean on Saquon, and I would love to see Saquon Barkley get a ring, especially after like the I don't know why I'm spacing on it. What is it called? The Hard Knocks, especially when Hard Knocks showed Joe Shane was like talking to the owner of the Giants, and he's like, "Oh, I would hate to see him in an Eagles jersey, and then potentially seeing Saquon rush all over the place in the Eagles for a Super Bowl." So I think that'd be kind of comical to watch. I don't know. Really good questions though. These were a lot of fun. I appreciate all the wide variety of questions we had. But let's draw a giveaway here. How about that? We only have one tonight. The what did I just do? The what was our scenario? Had to be the 1 seed losing, so the Chiefs did not lose, and the other bonus giveaway is tied to the Eagles losing because they beat the Packers. So neither of those happened. So we are only doing a single giveaway tonight, which is unfortunate. But yeah, we'll have some more giveaways to do then going forward. So, huge thank you, as always, to Nicolay Law. Without Nicolay Law, none of these giveaways would be possible. I know I've said that a lot, but it's true. Really, without their partnership on my page and with the show, I wouldn't be able to do this. So, I can't thank them enough. As always, all season long, anytime the Packers lost, or now subsequently, if the Eagles lose, we're going to do bonus giveaways and other scenarios because Nicolay wants to make sure that the people are getting good rewards, even when things as minor as the Packers losing happens to them. They want to make sure that they're taken care of. So if you are injured, get Nicolay, award-winning law firm in the Midwest, and I can't thank them enough, really. I do see Raymundo came in. I don't know. Do you guys want a spoiler of what I'm going to be doing here in the off season and what you can expect to see? Since a lot of these names are ones that have been here all year long with me. If so, I'll give you a little breakdown of what we're working on. Raymundo says, one more question. Do you see the Packers making a splash move, trading Kenny, Rashawn, Jair, something crazy like that? I feel like they're getting more aggressive on defense, bringing more. I see Packers picking you up. Okay. So I don't think Kenny's going anywhere. They just signed him to an extension. Same with Rashawn. I don't think he's going anywhere. Jair, I could see them trading if there's a trade. Otherwise, they're going to end up getting cut. He'll probably end up getting cut. So good question. All right. Yeah. So before we get into this, and it's important because Nicolay is going to be partnering up with this content as well, and we're going to keep doing giveaways through that. It's going to actually open it up a bit more because it's not going to be a live restricted show. So some of you who have been following me for a long time, the Baileys, the Tullys, trying to think if anyone else is watching that has been following me for like years. Jason's a good one example. You know what? I'm sorry. I missed a question from Iowa Joe. I feel like I always miss Joe's questions. So I got to make sure I answer this one. What Packers content creators do you listen to and watch? Joe, I do watch yours. Not all of them. I to be honest with you, I'm really bad at consuming stuff. Ohana, go check out them. They do a lot of like draft stuff, a lot of good coverage. I don't do draft stuff. My guy Matt Ramage, of course, I like. Not that he's strictly Packers, but the Northern Nerd I like, and Lampo Leo, of course. Yeah, I don't know. I just I peruse stuff. I don't think I have anything super I don't know, crazy that I like religiously watch. Sorry, I'm getting all sidetracked. I was just looking back in comments and realized I missed Joe, and I feel like I always miss his question. So to get back to where I was at, years ago, I did a show. I want to say 2018, 2019. I did a show called The Green Bay Narrative. It was a podcast, an audio podcast where I captured Packers stories, mostly from fans, but some former players. And now with my current setup and where I'm at, I decided I'm going to bring that back. And the premise here is it's going to be video now. So I've recorded some episodes already. It's going to be very similar. It's going to be a little bit more edited, hopefully a little bit more put together. But I've started recording videos. So every week, pretty much every night, I'm doing something, which makes it tough for me to play video games, like I was talking about earlier, Bailey and Corey. So I'm going to be doing episodes every week of that during the off season. My hope is to schedule every episode live in the same Tuesday spot. So the episode will just will air Tuesdays at 7:30, and then they will be uploaded to like the podcast format on Wednesday mornings. Because of Nicolay Law, and huge thanks to Nicolay Law, we're going to be able to do giveaways during the podcast, in the sense that we will have like a giveaway form, very similar. It's going to be posted with, this is like high level thoughts. I haven't 100% knocked this out yet, but the thought is I'll have the giveaway form in the show notes so you could reference in and submit there. I'm trying to think of a good way to do it, to make sure that it just doesn't get like spammed by a bunch of bots, stuff like that. So that's kind of where my challenge is now. But I'm looking forward to it. I have been talking to some former players already, that are planning on coming on, and yeah, I'm really excited. I've been able to capture some fan stories already that I'm really excited about. And I'm super excited to roll this out again in a video format. I think the video adds so much to it, but still allowing people to listen to it in the audio format. I had a lot of positive feedback when I did 50 episodes of it earlier, and I'm really excited to do it again, and I'm really excited to capture some more stories, and it's a lot of fun. I didn't realize how much I missed it until I started getting back into it. So it's a lot of fun. It's nice talking to people rather than rambling by myself for an hour. And yeah, Jason had an episode. You actually came to my apartment, and recorded your episode, which was a lot of fun. In in complete transparency, there's no way in hell I would let anyone come to my house now that I've never met in person. But I was a different man then, and it worked out really nicely because Jason's a great guy, and became a great friend of mine because of it. So, but yeah, as I look back, I had a few people come to my apartment to record their episodes, and I'm like, there's no chance I'd let someone come to my house now that I don't know for that. So, but yeah, I'm super excited about it, and I hope you guys like it. And any feedback that you have on it, please, as we're going through, please give it there, because that's the only way we're going to get better. Anyway, enough with the rambling on that, but I wanted to share that with you, since a lot of you have been here almost every single week, depending on. So super excited about that. But let's I gotta make sure I grab this list and make sure. Okay, get these responses. Let me look through quick just to make sure that there's no duplicates. I don't think there is. Cool. All right, just got to sort these real quick. Try to I don't share this part of my screen. I don't think it's on my screen. Okay, good. Because I don't want your email addresses to be shown, because that wouldn't be very fun. No one would like that. All right, 25 entries. Let's plug them in here. Good luck. We're doing one drawing tonight. I am going to do a story of the week tonight as well. So I know Heather was bummed we didn't have one last week, so I took that personally. Heather, I was like, I got to get one for Heather. All right, here we go, guys. Good luck. What do we got? Kayla account. Is that my former coworker, Kayla? If so, Kayla, are you here? And if so, I need a number from you. I need a number. Let's see, 1 through 40, up or down, please. If you are here, I'm trying to think. I think I saw Kayla comment earlier, but I don't know if that was that Kayla. To be perfectly transparent, I don't always read like full names while I'm on here. So, oh, that's why, Kayla, you're throwing me off with a middle name on there. Good to see you. I need a number 1 through 40, up or down, if you could, please. 33, and then do you want up or down? Anticipation's killing me. I should just put like the numbers that we have. That might make life easier. We're kind of running out of spots. 33 down. We are down to number. We're down to number 5, Kayla. Number 5. Let's see what you win. I might drop it on your desk on Friday. I think I'm going to be over there on Friday, so maybe I'll drop it on your desk. Kayla, you won a Lynn Dickey signed 8x10. So congratulations. Appreciate you watching. Hope all is going well. Hopefully you're surviving over there. And then Corey, I owe you a your picture. Yeah, I'll be sending that out this week. So I appreciate you guys immensely. Well, we don't have to do a scenario because we're kind of where we're at. So let's just do our quick story of the week. Once again, thank you, Nikolai Law. Appreciate that. I'm looking forward to doing these this next endeavor and having Nikolai Law presenting with that as well. So awesome. Story of the week time. And then we'll get out of here. Then we'll be on our way so I can go to bed because I'm old. With all the talk of the Chiefs attempting their three-peat here, I wanted to talk about the championship game that solidified Vince Lombardi's three-peat, which was the Ice Bowl. We hear so many great stories about the Ice Bowl. And one of my favorites, I got to hear firsthand on my show when I had it for 50 episodes. It involves Vince Lombardi. So the story that I got to hear firsthand, Vince Lombardi took a swing at a fan after the Ice Bowl, and here is why. As a young fan, Roy Mellemans, he attended the Ice Bowl with his sight on securing more than just a championship victory. He was hoping to also secure a souvenir like none other following the game. As he thought about what he wanted to take, he set his sights on one thing and one thing only, and that was Vince Lombardi's legendary, iconic hat. However, Lombardi at the Ice Bowl wore a Russian fez type hat, like a fuzzy hat. He didn't wear his traditional like fedora hat. But nonetheless, Roy set his sights on Lombardi's hat following the Ice Bowl. So, as was a custom at the time, fans would storm the field following a championship game. They would cut down the goalposts, pretty much take anything that wasn't bolted as a souvenir with them. Because the game was so cold, Roy was so bundled up as were the personnel on the sidelines. Roy, after the third quarter, came out down the 50-yard line, and he snuck his way down on the sidelines of the field. He watched the entire fourth quarter on the Packers sideline with the Packers personnel, being able to blend in because he was so bundled up as they were. Following the game, fans rushed the field. Everyone's excited. They're running to grab things, do different things, just celebrate. Roy saw his opportunity, and as he did, he grabbed Lombardi's hat and took off. Well, unfortunately for Roy, about 5 yards behind Vince Lombardi was a Packers personnel who immediately saw what happened and grabbed Roy. Lombardi turned around and took a swing at Roy. Roy dropped Lombardi's hat. Lombardi took it back, cussed him out, and said, "Get the hell out of here." So Roy did just that. He helped his cousin cut down his cousin, along with many others, cut down the goal post. They hauled it out of Lambeau Field, and then they cut it up in 1 inch or I think he said 1 foot chunks that his cousin still had. His story was a phenomenal one. Unfortunately, Roy passed away a few years ago now. I want to say 2021 he passed away. But if you want to hear the full interview for yourself, head over to my website, click content, go to Green Bay Narrative, and find episode 37. One of the best stories it is just so surreal. I'll pull up the photo of Roy getting punched because it's just the greatest. Going on my website here real quick. No, he didn't get banned for life. In the NFL, that's just what happened after championship games. All right, so right here you have episode 37, and there's the photo of Roy getting punched by Lombardi. Let's see if I can't make this a little larger. Oh, of course, it's not going to work that way because I have it focused on this one. Yep, there he is, getting punched by Vince Lombardi. What a moment, what a story. I would implore anyone to go check that out and go listen to that for themselves because it is such a great story, and he has so many funny stories that go with it. That's what I loved about that podcast, and what I'm really excited about for bringing it back. So I hope you all have a good rest of your week. No football this weekend. It's going to be pretty low key. So I will still see you here next Tuesday, same time, same place, hanging out. There's probably not going to be a whole lot to talk about once again. So bring your questions. Let's hang out again. It was a lot of fun answering some questions. Maybe I can do like a call-in segment or something. I don't know. But I appreciate y'all listening. And we will talk to you next week. Have a good week. And as always, go Pack Go.